Hello, welcome to Josh Thomas and Friends and You. Today we're talking about gays with my friend Courtney Smith, who is gay. I'm gay. Lally and Tom are not here because they are heterosexual. They are very dedicated to being heterosexual, actually, more than almost any friends that I know. So they're excluded this week. Here's Courtney Smith. You're a gay, but you used to be married to a heterosexual man. And I thought maybe we would talk about the first time you had sex with a woman.
Well, yeah, I'd love to talk about that. I was also wanting to talk about the first time I had sex with a man because,
Okay.
well, what happened was I had this most beautiful boyfriend in the whole
Mhm.
world, and it was actually the night of our formal. Um,
That's
and
tradition.
yeah, I don't think either of us had a good time, but I mean, he definitely ejaculated. Um, this is what was shocking to me because I didn't realize that once I had sex once, then I had to keep on having it.
Oh, like you'd broken the seal, like now you're a couple that has sex.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like you just have to have sex like all the time and yeah, it was like
Oh, and you
not
never wanted to.
no, but I did.
I was so into having sex with girls when I was a teenager. I don't really know how to explain it. The first time I hooked up with a girl, I was sleeping over at their house and they lied to their parents and told them I was gay so that I could sleep over. And then it was four of us in the bed. And then I was in the middle and the girl next to me, also in the middle, started kissing me. And she was not a good kisser. She was grinding the outside lip, top lip against my inside lip, and it cut the inside of my mouth open, and I was bleeding, and I just felt so embarrassed that I was bleeding, and I was trying to like swallow the blood so that she didn't notice. And then I didn't know how to get out of it, so I went down on her just because vaginas don't have teeth. But I was like really, really into it, and then that went for a few minutes, and then um, my friend, who you know, my best friend still, Jen, woke up halfway through, and then she caught me. And the line I've always said about this, but it's disgusting, is it was like when you're watching like a nature documentary and a lion's eating a zebra and like gets caught by looks up and like spots the camera crew, you
Oh
know.
gosh.
And then we finished, but then
Wait,
I
so
was like,
you then so
I was
you're going down on the
mid
girl, you're
munch.
mid going down, mid munch, and then you're
Yeah.
like and you're staring directly into Genevieve Mortimer's
His
eyes.
eyes, yeah.
Whoa, that's
We would spend every little lunch in Australia, we have little lunch and big lunch. We would spend every little lunch just standing there like 10 centimeters apart, and I just like had a stiffy.
the whole time.
And it's very confusing to look back and think about how horny I was for her. The first time I had sex with a girl, she was my girlfriend, and she's like, "I want to have sex," and I was like, "I mean, if you want to," and then she goes, "I love you," and then I like had to say it back, but she had to like have us say "I love you," but we never said it before, and then I said it, but like, because what do you do if someone says "I love you"? You have to say "I love you" if you're what
I
now
didn't.
16.
No, no, no. I was told I love you multiple times by multiple boyfriends, and I didn't say it back. But the first one I said it back to was this boy I'm talking about that I had sex with for the first time.
Did you say "I love you" before sex?
Yeah, yeah. Like not directly before. We'd already said like we're desperately in love. We were madly in love.
It was like a
Um,
test. It was a test I
but
had to
I just didn't
pass.
like having sex.
I didn't ejaculate, but I didn't ejaculate because her mum came home halfway through.
I really thought that everyone my whole for the longest time, I thought that no one really liked having sex, and I thought everyone just kind of pretended that they liked having sex, and I remember a big thing about it for me was, like, this whole orgasm thing, and when you first start out having sex, like, you can talk to your friends about orgasms and stuff, and it's like, "Oh, have you? Oh, I don't know." And then I remember getting to a certain age where I still hadn't had an orgasm, and I realized that I could no longer ask because it was, like, weird. And so then for years and years and years, I was a very late orgasmer, very, very late.
Like, not even by yourself?
Yeah, no, no. And then my best friend,
Yeah.
massive hippie, she came over to my house and she brought
Yeah.
me my very first vibrator.
Wait, because you told her and then she was like, "Oh, I know how to solve this."
Well, I was like, "I don't know if I've had one." And she was like, "Courtney, you would definitely know." And then I had an orgasm. It's like, "Oh, yeah." Like, there's no like, "Oh, have I?" It's like, it is the most like whole body. Incredible experience, isn't it? An orgasm.
Well, boys' orgasms are less intense, but I thought, because I was having sex with lots of girls, and I thought they were having orgasms. And then actually, the last time I ever had straight sex in my life was like a very she was like, "No, we're gonna do this," and then she had an orgasm, and it was and then I realized I'd never seen a woman's orgasm because it was so intense. It was so like, yeah, it was a
Like,
lot. Yeah, and that was the last time I ever had sex with a girl. I did kind of feel like,
it comes alive like a little, like a monster.
yeah. I thought I finished it. I thought I got to the end and I beat the boss level.
Well, you did.
So you wouldn't even have thought you were closeted?
All I knew, I didn't even think that I was closeted, correct. But all I knew was that whenever I was near a lesbian, if I saw one at the supermarket or at the tram stop or anything, I couldn't breathe. And then I would just follow them. Like I would just hold my breath like,
Oh.
then what happened was when I worked out I was definitely a lesbian, is I got a message. I was at this barbecue um, with my husband, and I got a message saying, "Oh, did you know that this girl and another one of our friends have started dating?" And this other friend was a heterosexual, and I had a full-on actual panic attack. I went to the bathroom and was like hyperventilating because somebody that I had known as straight had started dating a woman. And then I had this whole kind of crashing down thing where I'm like, I am so gay.
Yeah, wow. I don't think I ever had that. I don't think I ever had this big, like, but yours is a lot more high stakes, isn't it? Because you're like married and by this point, you got married
Yes.
really young and had children really young. So you're
Yeah.
like, you becoming a lesbian had a real social cost. I never had a social cost. I remember I sucked a guy's dick one night. He came really quickly, and then he went to the toilet and he wiped off all the cum in toilet paper and dropped it in a big bundle on the ground and sort of like stormed out of the house. And then I still was hooking up with girls. It didn't seem that like revelatory to me. It didn't seem more or less fun than the first time I went down on the girl when I was 14.
Well, I
And
mean,
then,
I think you're actually, I mean, well, you are bisexual.
but I don't think I could.
No, but you are like, I would say when we first met, you were definitely more kind of homosexual than I would consider you now, for sure. Like you've kissed heaps of girls.
Yeah, sometimes I go out and sometimes when I'm high, I think I'm about to have sex with a girl, and then
Yeah,
the drugs wear off, and then I realize, nah. And I did get a big crush on your ex girlfriend, like
I know.
quite sincerely and quite palpably for a long time. You every time you
That's
brought her up, I would change color, and I was 30 then. I was 30 then. I know what it is I get really into it, and then I kind of lose interest once we start for some reason.
with the girls, you mean?
Yeah, and I have this drive to wanna do it, but then I start and then I go, I just feel like this all my
Yeah.
energy drop, you know?
Josh, one of the things I was thinking about when I knew we were gonna be talking about being gay today was,
Uh-huh.
I remember I know the yes vote, right? And I remember being in the staff room, um, as a lesbian with a girlfriend that everyone knew I had a girlfriend, and in the staff room, everyone was talking about the vote and how they were gonna vote, and they were debating it. And that was, like, a really big thing for me. And then I remembered when, I got married, um, some of the people that I knew voted no came to the wedding. And I was thinking about it, and I think that I know why they came, and it was the Bellinis.
Wait, we have to clarify. Actually, most people that listen to this aren't Australian.
Do they know what a Bellini is?
Yeah, but in Australia, they did this plebiscite where people got to vote whether gays should get married or not, and it was horrifically I found it incredibly traumatic. Actually, one of the interesting things that happened during the plebiscite was my sister was shocked, but she was like, I didn't realize how many people were homophobic. She was
Yeah.
like, "I sort of didn't realize it was real, but because we were doing this vote where
Mm.
people, were given this kind of entitlement to decide yes or no, people on the no side all of a sudden were more comfortable with explaining why they think gays shouldn't be allowed to have the same lives as straight people, and it
Yeah.
really, like, exposed homophobia, and then you got the data at the end because everyone at the end was really excited because I think it was 65% yes or something,
But
and I just heard that and I thought, "Oh, it's 35% of people hate me before I talk."
yeah, yeah,
And
so
I just have to
bad.
live with that stat forever. Was it 60? I think it was 55% said yes. I don't know. But either way,
Yeah,
I was just like,
it was a close call.
everyone was happy and I was like pretty focused on the nose. I was like, that's
Same
quite
here.
interesting every time I like move through this world that 1 in 3 I know is a fact. But also, I think the true reason why they came to your wedding is once everyone voted yes and then we moved through that moment, actually, a lot of people realized that they shouldn't have voted no. You kind of like they're allowed to change and adapt and actually just sort of wonder because the whole thing about conservatism is that their drive, the emotional drive of a conservative is to keep things the way they are. That's why it's conservative, not looking for social change, because
Mm,
they want to keep homeostasis and they're scared of the change. So they're
yeah,
worried that if they vote for change, then the world's something bad is going to happen. So they vote
right.
no because they thought something bad was going to happen, but then actually nothing bad happened, and then they realize, oh, nothing bad happened, and then they're comfortable again.
So I just put it down to the salmon bellinis because, like, yum.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, maybe they do regret it voting no, and that's actually very comforting, Josh.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, I like thinking about it like that.
The first time I had sex with a boy was the one guy sucked at his dick, and then a few years I was straight, and then I fell in love with a boy. And the thing I always say is that I realized that I could have sex with women, but I could never really be in love with a woman. And that is like actually much more a driving force for why I say that I'm gay.
Mm.
Do you think that's profound?
Well, what it made me think of right away is like, but wait, I think he loves me.
Not romantically.
No, I know, but do you love me,
I won't want to cuddle you if it couldn't like
Josh?
that. What do you mean?
It's a straight up question that I'm asking now. Do
You're a
you or
very
do
dear friend. I
do you
care
love
about
me
you
or
a lot.
would you
Okay, that's the end of the episode. Um, yesterday, because
just say it?
you got these comedy festival shows happening, and you didn't really tell anybody about them. And so, and then like you did a show at the Melbourne Fringe was really good. It won the award, best new show. And then
Yes.
now you're doing it, and we need people to go. And then I've started giving out tickets in my show, and to do
Mm.
that, I had to work the home printer.
And that is love.
And that is love, isn't it? I mean, you have to
That
be very careful about for me to go and work out how to put the paper and the ink and the cords and connect it so that you could have 6 more people in your show. I think, how dare you ask me if I love you?
you're right, and I feel of course, and I'll never ask again.
Okay. Wait, we never got to your first time having sex with a woman.
Okay, my first time having sex with a woman was I had recently come out. I came out while I was married before I'd even been with a woman.
Uh-huh.
And then I was at a bar on my own.
That's big. To come out
I
before
know.
having tested it is, like, very brave, actually. I definitely had to test it.
I knew. I once I worked it
Yeah.
out, I knew. I watched some lesbian porn,
Mhm.
and yeah, it was just there was just no doubt. And then
Squelchy.
I went to this bar on my own, which I did
Mhm.
a few times, which I think was like it's pretty like brave.
Mhm.
Um, and this girl came up to me and she was like, "Oh, what have you been painting?" Because I had paint on me, and I said, "Oh, just my apartment," because I just like moved into this apartment after I got divorced, and she thought that I was like an artist, like a lesbian artist. I'm like, no, I just like redid the walls. And then that same night went back to her house and that I had full lesbian sex for the first time and it was
Bingo, bango,
revolution.
Bob's your uncle.
One of the things that was, like, quite shocking to me actually, that I still think about was, how quiet she was, and I'd only watched porn, and I suppose maybe, like, I actually paid for feminist porn, but there was still a fair bit of moaning and stuff,
Well,
like,
yeah, of course.
and but because I had kind of been pretending, I just, like, used to moan or whatever, and that was a really big revelation as well, because I'm like, "Oh, I don't need to, like." I'm just like, "Will make a noise if it feel." Anyway, so we had great sex. She made me come so many times. She was so, generous, and I was also very enthusiastic. I was a good big learner. Like, "Let me at it. Let me at it."
That's nice.
Yeah.
Mine was just very romantic.
Lots of eye contact.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. From me?
What what do you
You
consider
think I'm doing eye
romantic?
contact?
Yeah,
No, I
and
do a
lots
lot
of
of
kissing.
kissing, but
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of I don't know, of course I'm not all of a sudden doing eye contact once I'm naked. You think the eye contact increases? Nah, babe, it decreases. It decreases.
What about if it's someone you love?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I'm sorry.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
No,
no, no, no. Okay, well, goodbye.
I love you.
Mhm. Hey, thanks, audience. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. I'm on tour at the moment. I'm going all over the world, excluding most of the world. You can just look it up. Bye.